Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. Today is October 13th, 2022. I hope everyone is doing okay. Hey, Face-to-Face. Hello, Eric. Hello, Pot and Face. Hello, Cypher Stone, Rogue Captain Harris, and Black Sky Lizard, and Wander. How are you all doing? Hope you all doing well. So let's talk about what's going on in my week so far. I don't know. People may or may not know, but I had a birthday on Saturday, which is the same day as CitizenCon, so that was great. I'm trying to balance reading, listening to audiobooks, and watching anime this week. So far, I'm falling behind on anime watching, but there's something always had to fall to the wayside. But yeah, I tried canceling Audible, but they offered me half price for 3 months. So anime is falling behind at the moment. I caught up on Andor. I'm recent on Andor. And watching Andor, you realize that it's going to be a 24 episode series instead of like typical 10 or 12, at least according to IMDb. So that's going back to how TV used to be, or TV still is. So I don't watch TV anymore, so I wouldn't know. I'm going to allow that, Kai. I'm going to allow that. Did I get a lot of good presents? I had CitizenCon, and I got to hang out with a whole bunch of people. So I mostly recovered from CitizenCon and my birthday. I considered it a great birthday to hang out with people who are important to me, you folks out there. And this show will be your chance to tell you what you thought about the event before I buzz Citizen on Saturday. So with that, I'm going to do my thing, and then we can get on with the show. So I don't think anyone is going to recognize it until the last line, so hopefully people can recognize it. So here we go. It's like my internal compass needle points straight at Miss Wrong. Maybe it's my genes. Maybe I have defective engineering too. And if that's the case, is there any way to fix it? You have more in common with a dog? I love dogs. I've always loved dogs. And let's see, I'm going to drag people down, see if people can figure out where that's from. So give me a moment while I drag people down. Drag 1, drag 2, drag 3, and 4. I think we got everyone. We're joined by Face-to-Face, Kaizen, Face, and Rain Cloud. How's everybody doing?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Great.
So did my last line, I love dogs, ringing the bell with anyone?
You know what?
That DC?
Black guy, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's Jupiter Ascending, so yeah.
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, yeah. I love dogs. Do you remember that line?
Oh yeah. You know, that movie gets a lot of guff, and it is bad in certain ways, but it's also awesome in certain ways.
I agree. It's one of I mean, it's not, I would say it's not my all-time favorite or one of my all-time favorites, but I like it enough to buy it, so.
There are some movies where you just have to turn off your brain and go along for the ride, and if you do, they're amazing.
And when you turn your brain back on, you realize it's another Matrix. It's the exact same story.
Sort of. Yeah, sort of.
My wife and I watch Jupiter Ascending at least once every 6 months or so.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
We really like that movie a lot. We were hoping for a sequel that's never going to come.
Yeah, I mean, if it's coming, it'll be like the Matrix. It'll be 20 years in the making.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Everybody's old. But yeah, if you wanted to come and join us to talk about Star Citizen, click on the link I just put in Twitch chat. So hopefully we can get some more people. With that, I think we're going to get this show. Well, is everybody doing okay?
Fantastic.
Okay, cool. So let's get the show started. So first up, we have our sneak peek from last Friday before CitizenCon, or the day before. And the subtitle is, I've got more than enough in my locker, and it had a Crusader symbol. So I'm guessing that's probably, I always think about it before, but I guess that's the, not the STV, the Spirit.
No.
Well,
No.
No.
Oh,
No?
I wouldn't think so.
But let's point out the obvious here that looks like that young lady is carrying drugs.
I think it's related to Security Point Korea, the rebuild of Korea. is what I think that's
Okay.
related to. Because
Okay.
we know that that's theoretically coming in 318.
Oh, so it's not a ship. It's a place.
Yeah.
So
it's a
Fish,
safe, yeah.
so Fizz, you were saying it looks like she's carrying garbage. What
No.
expand on that
Garbage.
theory a little?
I didn't say garbage. I said
Oh.
drugs.
Oh,
Oh,
drugs.
okay.
What is that? What is that directly behind her? What is it? It looks like a arm, maybe
It's like
chair.
a chair.
a
or
chair.
something.
That's what I was saying.
A chair
Arm to
for
a
a terminal
chair.
of some sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
She fit
And-
though.
Mhm.
That's all I gotta say. She fit.
Oh, could it be a junk in the trunk? No.
No, I don't think so.
Looks cool.
I don't think
Looks
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that.
It
Go ahead.
doesn't. It definitely doesn't fit the spirit because they've shown us very clearly what the cargo thing for the spirit looks like. So, but yeah, I would think Checkpoint Korea is definitely a possibility.
Then why-
Also,
then
Can
why is there
anybody
a,
read?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
go
Can
ahead.
anybody read the words
on the
down at the
bottom?
bottom? Can
Oh,
anybody?
Oh,
let
it
me-
says
let me blow
it
it up.
says manual
Override.
override. Yeah.
Manual override.
Manual override. So some kind of processing.
So what we also should think about is they have said that they're in the process of doing a lot with physicalized cargo and whatnot, and they have also said that they're in the process of like overhauling the locker system that we have. You know, when you go to certain stations and whatnot, like there is an actual like we're used to. If you're standing in anywhere in that station, you just bring up your inventory and you'll see on the right side, you'll see. Like on the left side is like your inventory, and the right side is like the station's inventory or whatever. You know, there could be changes coming along with that, and because they've said they're going to change that whole like locker. But like if you go to a physical place in the station, there's like it looks like a locker room, and it has lots of like storage lockers and stuff. Where in lore, that's where your actual stuff is. So it could be tied to any kind of overhaul with any of that, or I think that kind of thing, storage elevator, the Korea thing. Yeah.
It says the elevator. I was going to ask fastcart to zoom in it again. It said something elevator. I couldn't.
Storage elevator.
Storage. Okay.
Yeah. So what about the Crusader symbol though?
Hmm.
I mean, you would have those in every system. So on Crusader, you would have the Crusader symbol. On Hurston, you would have the Hurston symbol. But like, you know, they have to show off one of them somewhere.
And
Okay.
Security Post Korea specifically is operated under Crusader Industries jurisdiction because it is orbiting where? Sullen, right? So, and Sullen orbits
Crusader.
The moon of Crusader. Yep.
So, you know, put the two and the two together is what I'm
No
saying.
one told me tonight was going to be a test. What are all these questions? I'm supposed to know this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, it could very much go with the storage locker thing. It could go with the storage elevator thing. It could go with the Korea thing. Yeah, all of those seem very, very plausible.
I'm just curious as to why she's holding drugs there.
Because part of the rework of Security Point Korea is to make it an active Crusader Industries facility, which means going there to drop off contraband for lawful play and going there to do other types of things like that. That's just, if people have watched Inside Star Citizen and all the stuff they've talked about with rebuilding Korea, Korea is actually going to have NPCs on it. It's going to be an active Crusaders Industries facility again, and that means that, you know, just like when you do the good guy stuff for Jumptown, right, and you take the drugs to somebody, same thing.
Cool. All right, thank you for that. Yeah, the guard watching us store drugs. I don't know about Cyprus, so yeah, I don't know what that guard is doing.
Well, I mean, if you're doing the good guy Jumptown routine, you're literally turning in contraband. The police are more than happy for you to do so. They're not. It's not like they're going to bust you on the way to, like when they have a gun turn-in program or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, bring your guns. We'll give you money."
It depends on how corrupt the police are.
Wow. All right.
All right. Moving on from that. Oh yeah, so we're gonna get to CitizenCon in a bit, but let's talk about the ship that dropped. So I have this the C1 Spirit. I'm gonna drop one link in Twitch chat because they go to all of them at the top. So this is the C1 Spirit. So how many people have are getting a Spirit?
Got him.
You got them.
Got him. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Well, you helped me. You helped me, so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's
But
right.
which one did you get and why did you get it?
Oh, I got all of them.
Wow.
And let's see. I got well, 2 to keep and 1 just because I just want to play because it's for cool. The A1, I got that one just to try it when it comes out to, it's
Little
cool.
bomb.
I want to try the bombs and then I'll CC it to something more my style.
Cut
So-
to
Yeah.
Pops hopping into every server and looking for morphologist.
Oh,
Why, Kai? Why?
You dropping
Yeah, there's a whole bunch
bombs
of
there,
memes
buddy.
about that this week.
we
But yeah,
we all were thinking it. Kai just said it.
So for me, my 2 favorite manufacturers are Origin and Crusader, and so I really want one of these, and I'm really tempted to exchange my freelancer for it because
Mm.
I'm starting to get to a level of frustration of they're never gonna fix the freelancer and they're never gonna update it, and so because the C1 I think is almost identical in how much the freelancer costs. The problem is, in all these years, I have never bought in to a concept sale because the ships change from concept to release and the data's never right on the matrix and people get upset and I don't know if I should or not, but I'm kind of torn. What do you all think? Should I exchange my
may I make a
freelancer? Or-
suggestion?
Yeah.
Just get a CCU to a spirit like whatever spirit you want. That way you can keep your freelancer until the until the ship is out. Then you can apply the CCU or melt it depending on what you decide then.
Did
Yeah,
any of the other Crusader ships change? I thought they.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't remember.
Yeah.
That they
so the
changed.
MSR got a lot more chunky from concept
okay.
to release. Yeah.
We gotta remember the
Okay.
Orion group, Pops.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Orion,
I'm
and
talking about Crusaders. Crusaders.
Crusader.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
not the Orion.
the biggest examples of changes would be number one, like I said, the MSR got way more chunky, and then we all know what happened with the Ares, Ion, and Inferno with regard to.
That was just a nerf, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's a
Yeah.
big change from
Okay.
concept
That's
to
Yeah.
release.
Yeah. I can understand. Yeah.
So with these spirit ships, I think there's a couple of interesting points with regard to them, with regard to their release at CitCon. Number one, I was a little surprised that the release of it seemed a little slapdash in that, number one, like the original information sheet for them had like wrong data on stuff
they fixed
on
it,
all kinds
though,
of
but
things.
yeah.
No, you're right. But in
They-
addition to that, just as telling, if not more telling to me, I was absolutely shocked that there was not a trailer for the release. They always, when they put out the ship, they put out like a minute long little teaser trailer for the ship, and then it's like on sale now. There wasn't one for this line of ships, which I found sort of super interesting. I think it definitely, number one, this is put out as like a sort of the answer to Drake. It's like the answer to the Cuddy series or what have you.
Yep.
And I think it's super interesting. And the ship gives off vibes of basically, hey man, it's the Normandy, but it's your personal little like pocket Normandy, which is amazing. I think that the 3 ships they look fantastic. They're super interesting. I think there's a lot of question with regard to exactly what you can get to fit inside of it. I know they did a thing where they say, "Hey, you could fit," and they said these things or whatever. But some of the diagrams are a little interesting as far as like
And
what can you fit
and
in there.
and also they can change their mind. They can. Well, most of the time when these things happen, they get bigger. But you never know. This could be the one example where it gets smaller. But I wouldn't count on. I wouldn't
Sure,
buy it just for that. But yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
only-
and the
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Pops.
Kai, you
Oh,
win. You win.
The last point I was going to make would be that I think specifically with regard to the E1 variant, with regard to the executive transport variant, I would bet any amount of money that it's not going to be the Genesis, that it's going to be either this or the rework of the 600i that gives you the first actual implementation of passenger transport game loop. I think that basically they're going to start it with this one or with the rework of the 600i, introduce it there, then make it sort of richer and more complex, and then release the Genesis Starliner with sort of T2 of passenger transport.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of neat stuff with this whole line, and I think they're very sharp looking.
Yeah. Now the I did put in a suggestion question on the E1 because the only thing that I saw so far that I didn't like is you have a ramp. And a ramp to me is industrial. It's not luxury. And hoping that they even stairs are luxury, but I'm hoping that they, just a ramp doesn't speak luxury to me. And to have for it to be a luxury passenger jet, yeah, I hope they find a way to change that.
Doesn't the 600i have a ramp?
It does.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, I mean,
I had elevators.
yeah, right. I'm hoping that they, a ramp just doesn't speak luxury to me. It speaks cargo to
If
me.
you
And
if you roll out a red carpet, it might be okay.
yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
hold on for a second, though. Hold on for a
Some
second, Pops.
confetti. Yeah.
We just rewatched Rogue One, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about it, I forget whoever that general or colonel was who was getting on his ship. He walked up the ramp.
Yeah, but he's that's military.
That's true. You know what? You're right.
That's
You're right.
military. That's not when you think of luxury, you think of diplomats and I don't know. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. That's all.
And that makes sense. That does make sense, Pops. But to Kusanagi's point, if you look at Dune Part 1, Dune Part 1, they have when the ambassadors come and land on the planet, and they have a massive ramp, and there is like a huge red carpet that's rolled out, and then the guys come walking down, and they're like, hear ye, the emperor says go over there."
Yeah.
So my biggest concern with this ship right now, in the fact that it's going to change, is some PTSD from flying a certain ship in Elite Dangerous that had a ridiculous wingspan that meant that it could only land in large hangars when it was a medium ship, and if the wingspan were smaller, it could land on medium hangars. And that particular ship
Clipper?
was the Clipper. Yes, the Clipper. Which we've seen in Elite. There's like I don't know how many ships in Elite that their dimensions are wrong. They should be able to fit, like the Type 6 transporter, for example. I am concerned about the wingspan. I'm concerned about I'm always concerned about concept sales because I want to wait and see what the finished ship looks like. Because I've been here long enough to see all the versions of the Cuddy, all the versions of the Constellation, the upgrades to the 300 series, the changes to the Avenger Titan, all of the ships changing. They do look absolutely amazing. I do get Normandy vibes. I don't know if I want to get rid of my Freelancer or not because I actually kind of like my Freelancer. But these actually, and I think Kai is dead on too. I think these are the VIP version of this. I don't see the 600i rework coming anytime in the near future. I think it'll be this that will get the transport gameplay, and I hope not to bag on Elite. I haven't talked about Elite in months, but I hope it's more than just you're transporting numbers on a page and getting told to go places as a text message. I hope it's actual NPCs that are in the seats that we have to get from point A to point B, and they get on the ship and they get off the ship. That's what I hope for. We'll have to wait and see.
Just to push.
I have.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead. No, please, you first, Pops.
Oh, no, well, I have a question for. Okay, fastcart. If you can go to the picture. Okay, that one. Where the wing is
go
up.
back.
Right. It's there where the people are walking to it, and the wing is kind of has that little
Fold up?
flip up to it.
Mm.
What is it? It's not like it's a
VTOL.
fold out.
That's a VTOL aspect, the same way
It's a
that
VTOL.
that's the same way that the
Okay.
Hercules has, where the wing with
Okay.
that engine folds in a way that gives you direct VTOL takeoff, and then you fold it out for vertical flight.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so,
Thanks.
I know Shampasta asked if they made the Spirit longer. I think, well, with the recent change to the length and the width stats, because I think they were in the 30s, were they not? Weren't they like the same length as the between the Cuddy and the Freelancer?
I always thought that they were all the same, but maybe they changed it with the update.
Length is 46.5 and width is 43.5. So that puts it in like the Argo range. So if you think about the length of the Argo, it's pretty close to that. The Mole.
Just to push back a little bit, because I definitely understand concerns that people could have to say, like, hey, it's weird sometimes when they do concept ships and then they grow a lot or shrink a lot or the dimensions change a lot before it comes into implementation. I kind of feel like that was more an issue before, like in the early days of ship design. But I feel like because CIG needed to get their head around exactly what the dimensions of all of their different pads and like facilities were going to be. Now I feel like it seems to me like they've become much better at concepting and then sticking within certain dimensions for things that they know what the internals are going to take up space wise. They know what pads and facilities are going to be generally. And I honestly feel like this ship is going to come out largely looking like what you see it looking like there.
Yeah, I agree.
Stuff where the Crusader got way more chunky, it was because they didn't have their head around all of the internals and all of the stuff. And then when they went to try to implement that, and they also tried to implement that whole, Millennium Falcon tunnel system, it really just required it to get either chunkier or wider, and they couldn't do wider. Well, again, the exact same thing, though. That was before they had their head around it. Now, when you see them concepting something, yes, I agree with you. The Carrack, even like the MSR stuff that came out, like the Carrack was before the MSR. Like that, the stuff that comes out now comes out closer to the size that they first showed.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, I just want to say that I'm looking at the ship matrix, and they updated it 8 hours ago from now. So this is updated info. According to the ship matrix, I put the link in Twitch chat. They all have the same measurement. But
yes.
I don't know. I can't compare. I don't remember what the old measurements were, but they still all have the same measurement.
The measurements stayed the same. What changed is that they had like the wrong one showing as cargo, and they had the wrong number of bombs and stuff like that. But they say that it's all been resolved.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just to give my 2 cents, I have a CCU to the C1, so I took the advice that I gave Rain, because I'm waiting for IEE, and I'm going to use my RSI credit to buy some modules for my second endeavor. Once I take care of all that, and if I get a discount somehow, then I'll try to use it to upgrade my mule, one of my spare mules to the C1. So just the C1. Not I was tempted about the E1, the executive one, but maybe I'll get it in game, but
Mhm.
that's gonna be one. If I do get it, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be the one to fly it. I'm gonna get an NPC or someone else to fly me around.
Mm.
Mhm.
You want to be chauffeured.
Lord.
Yeah,
I figured
exactly.
that.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
And on a related
I
note,
tell you, what was that like driving Miss Daisy? That's what you
yeah, we
doing?
talked about that before. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what I
Driving.
said the other time, but here we go.
Okay.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
so I just want to say this is the Loner Matrix page. Hopefully, Chris and Augie can put the link in Twitch chat. Yes, his highest imposter. But yeah, you see the Field A1 has a loan of a freelancer in my ass, because that's the missile van, and the A1 is the bomber. The C1 has the loaner of a Cutlass Steel, because that's the, the cargo one. But the E1 has a wait, is that right? The E1,
No, the E1 has
is
the
the
Cuddy
executive
Steel.
one, right?
Yeah, the E1 is the Cuddy
Yeah.
Steel, the C1 is the Cuddy Black, and the A1 is the Mince.
Freelancer,
That makes,
freelancer man.
makes no
So,
sense.
and we just an update. We have I've been corrected. It did grow another 10 meters in length today, according to Abyssinian. Thank you very much for the update on that.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's not. I think they have the width worked out, and you can play with the length a little bit and the height a little bit without whatever. But yeah, so but I think it's going to come out looking largely like it looks.
Yeah, so the E1 being the Cutlass Steel, the E1 is the executive luxury, and the Cutlass Steel is people. It carries people.
Yeah,
What
so
about that?
Oh boy. Yeah. Well.
yeah, it's interesting. I think with an interesting thing, if somebody wanted to just for I don't know, if somebody wanted to for meme factor or whatever, fly a Cuddy Steel, but they were like, "There's no way I'm paying for that overpriced piece of engineering." They could get an E1 and fly the loaner for funsies.
Mm.
True.
Yeah, but the loners are like the freelancer miss is cool for the A1, but for the C1, a Cuddy Black is a downgrade from a freelancer in my
I
opinion.
agree.
And
Yeah.
for the
True.
E1, the Cutlass Steel is to me the dumbest ship in the game. I think it's trash and it shouldn't exist. So, I don't like any of those options.
Well, think of it this way, Rain. If you get the E1, you get a loaner that costs twice as much.
The trick is to follow fastcart's advice and do the CCU. Keep the ship that you enjoy now, and then enjoy that other one later.
I keep
DK says
sleeping on
the
this
Steel is a
Cuddy
busted
Steel.
up old bus.
Damn.
I'm gonna keep creeping on the Cuddy Steel because it's
Mm-hmm.
trash and it shouldn't
I'm-
exist.
Wow.
Y'all gonna watch. I'm telling you, when this game pop out, you're gonna see some changes to it.
Oh, yeah.
The steel? Yeah, I think the steel. If you're talking about the steel, I think you're right. I think they're gonna have armor on that thing. It's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be harder to take down than a regular Cutlass Black.
That's gonna be like a turtle. It's gonna be hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
first
it
off,
might.
the armor is going to make it much beefier. They're going to make the guns and whatnot less useless. And another important thing that everyone keeps forgetting is they have not yet, but they talked about it even at this CitizenCon, implemented the whole thing where ships only have a certain amount of life support and air and whatever.
You're right,
Once they
yeah.
flip that switch, the Cuddy Steel, as much as you might not enjoy it or might want to meme on it or dunk on it, a ship that's got, seats for half a server in one ship, that means it has to have air supply for all of those people, which means
Right.
that if you need to transport a large number of people, meme on it all you like, it's gonna have a value there.
Oh
Unless you turd, still a turd.
By the way, Simpasta, just so you know, there is a new, upcoming Soul Citizen show called "Stop the Steal," and we're going to discuss this deal. So you're ahead of the curve, so to say, so to speak.
Okay.
All right. So up next we have, we're gonna talk about the Greycat STV, the sports terrain
The
vehicle.
Steve.
So we have a new, LSI token. I already had the LSI token from last time, so I don't need it anymore. But is anyone going to drive these around?
Oh, this
Get
thing's
it in
awesome.
game.
This thing's amazing.
You like it?
Oh
You
yeah.
got one? You're gonna get it in game. You're not gonna buy one.
Get it in game, yeah. I mean, I'm broke enough to be on food stamps. You think I'm spending money on Star Citizen? I'm gonna get it in game.
Okay.
I think the first thing that needs to be mentioned when you mention this, the first thing that needs to be addressed is they did a massive rework of speeds of ground vehicles right as this
Right.
was introduced, and this is the fastest ground vehicle in the verse, wheeled ground vehicle in the verse. So it definitely, for that, for people in the Daymar rally or for all kinds of different racing and things that are going on, this definitely has a use.
Not entirely accurate, Kai. I could show you several videos of the Cyclone RC absolutely destroying this thing, including its boost function sending it off. So
Yeah, we'll see where it ends up, because that was the way that CIG touted it as. This is going to be the fastest. This is now the fastest vehicle in the verse. Well, there's plenty of times where they put out information and then there's tweaks and corner cases, and then when it actually gets from PTU to
Live.
the PU, all of a sudden things have changed. And I think that with a lot of the speed changes stuff and the master mode and all these different things, we're going to see lots of tweaks going every different way between now and when we actually get to play it. But CIG said this is the fastest thing. So that's what they intend. We'll see what it
Now,
ends
did
up
they
at.
say this is the fastest thing right now?
Yes.
Because
Right,
when the
right.
RC comes out,
Sure.
then that's
Yeah.
when the-
Yeah, the tumble Ranger.
Sure.
Now,
That
the
might
only
be faster.
yeah,
Go ahead.
the only thing that which Gomad brought up was the tire, the spare tire. What is that all about? Yeah.
So are we going to be changing
Does it
flat?
have-
Oh,
right,
you bet
you
your
be
butt you are.
changing flat.
So
Yep.
so that
Mm.
number one, that could be aesthetics. Number two, that could be an actual gameplay loop. We have today in 2022, car dealers are putting out these tires that are like, it's all rubber, there's no air in it,
Mhm.
it's
There's no
designed
air.
with the honeycomb, and you cannot get a flat. You're talking about a time where people are living in different star systems and flying spaceships and whatnot. I think maybe flat tires could very realistically be a thing of the past. But I wouldn't put it past CIG to make a gameplay loop that involved it.
Well, maybe
Well,
it's
something-
a hidden weapon.
No.
Throw it at people.
This is a hack.
What I was gonna say is that maybe when a tire gets damaged or gets shot at, because that can happen, you have
That's
a spare
possible.
to take care of it. But yeah, I don't think they get flat. I just think it's there in case it gets damaged.
I
Mm.
agree with that.
Two things. Hi, everybody.
There you go,
All
man.
right.
There you go, Matt.
Hello.
You got anything to say about the STV?
Yeah. I know you guys will talk about the tire on the back. Two things. Citizen K did a video where they were hot dropping those out of the back of the different ships to see if they would, serve as a ground vehicle for their raccoons. And they did show that part of the damage state, one of the only damage state that you have on that vehicle is that a wheel falls off. So there may be something in the future that allows you to pull that wheel off and replace it and put it back on there. But until that's part of gameplay, and CIG, if you're listening, I'm okay if it's not, like, you don't have to work on that. That's okay. There's other stuff.
Can I add one thing to this?
One second. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
The main reason why it's on there right now, and it's the reason why a lot of stuff exists in the game the way it does right now as well, is because it looks cool.
Yep.
And it wouldn't look right without it.
Okay, because if you get two flat tires, then you got to call AAA.
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
So
That's
you
all I
got to
wanted-
call 1-800 backspace.
Okay.
You
I just want to know. You got to sit there and wait for
can
triple.
do
they
that
gotta
now,
figure that out.
but maybe not when the game launches. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, what about if
So
you have an
what I-
electrical problem and you have to change the headlight? You know,
1-800 Alt F4. Hit
Wow.
the buttons. It is free.
This is why you have LTI on the STV.
No, it's,
That'll take care of it.
Mm.
Actually, you know, seriously, all joking aside, to Pop's point, this game, with as in-depth as they're going with crazy stuff, I would not be shocked for someday, 2 years, 3 years from now, they announce, and now you can get, you know, space AAA road service by RSI Industries. It costs $4 a month.
Well, wait a minute, Kai. If they do that,
Mhm.
then they've got to put, and I know they said they weren't going to, but then they got to do this because now I'm going to make them renege. They got to put in repo.
There you go.
Because if you go with a tow truck, service, right, you got to go with repo.
Mm-hmm.
well, they already got a tow truck service, so to speak. They got the Crucible. What will prevent a Crucible from coming flying low and reaching out with its repairy hands
Mm-hmm.
and taking care of it? You don't have to tow it if you can fix it on site.
There you go.
That's true.
One thing I was remiss to talk about on the Spirit page is that they got new paint. I did get the red paint for the for my Spirit. I didn't get the 3-pack or anything.
Wow.
So yeah, but yeah, you know, they got the concierge, the chairman pack. That's what it's called, chairman pack, and got the normal 2-pack for everyone else. But yeah, so it's interesting. I don't like any of these colors. If you have a red, I'll be all over it. But
The blue one's all right.
Yeah, blue is my least favorite color.
Yeah.
I just
Uh,
have like
there's-
Personal thing.
I just have like a bunch of cyclones. I don't have them all. I don't have the RC, but I have enough cyclones to make this not really necessary.
Mm.
Yeah, it's an LTI token.
It's an LTI token, just like the Mule.
The one miss that they had with this one, the one miss that they had is almost a perfect wheeled ground vehicle, except for the one it does not fit my primary use case for a ground vehicle right now.
George.
It does not have enough storage on it to carry one full suit of armor that has been looted. I don't need to carry multiples. Like if I go down in the security depot one and I want to grab Artemix and carry it out, it cannot fit the whole thing. And the little box slider thing on the back, you cannot put armor boxes on it or the 1/8 SCU boxes that you buy on it. So unless you're doing a drug mission or a package mission, those are useless. And
All right.
the trunk isn't big enough to hold it either. So
Go map. I have a solution for you. You can do a weekend burner. So what you do is you get a dead person and put the arm on them, put them in the seat beside you.
Yeah.
Okay.
the solution is called Mule. I'm just using that's the one I use now. The Mule. The Mule does it perfectly. I can store actually 2 full suits of armor and some guns.
Damn it, Go Map. You know I can't spell.
Mule?
Mule.
You asking a Marine to spell? Come on, man.
Up next, we have Talking Ship 2052 voting. This is something that happened during CitizenCon that Coach, well, I want to say Ian, but just for the last presentation. So John Cruz has a challenge, using his own words, pick a ship concept challenge thing. As you learned that this year's Talking Ship panel, Digital CitizenCon, we're planning on a large civilian mining ship that will bridge the gap between the Argo Mole and the RSI Orion. If you missed the panel during the live stream, you can rewatch it. Watch it later. Don't watch it now because you're watching this now. But they're asking for you to choose the manufacturer of this civilian vessel, as the manufacturer will heavily influence its style and feel. Voting will run until October 17th, so you have 4 days left. So I haven't voted yet. I am logged in. So the choices are the Argo, Astronautics, the Misaki Industrials and Starflight Concern, and Robert Space Industries. As far as I know, I think RSI is winning. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably need to check. Yeah. Hold on.
And how much are they winning by?
Oh,
A lot.
Is it still 44%?
I think they were, because I voted right when it dropped.
yeah, it's 44% right now.
Yeah.
44%. And what are the others at?
Argo's at 33 and Miss is at 23.
Oh wow, the Miss is the lowest? Dang, I was not expecting that, but I guess so. So what
And
did other
those-
people vote for? Kusanagi, we're just going order. What did you vote for?
I just voted for the Miss. I thought I voted earlier, but maybe it didn't take it. So yeah, I just voted for the Miss just because I like the aesthetic of Miss and want to see another ship from them. I can get into
And he
more
likes
later.
throwing his vote away.
How about
Well,
you,
it's,
Fist? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, me,
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I voted for RSI.
Oh, sorry. And go lab.
RSI. I love struts, and I want it to be in the way of my mining.
He likes
You
big
love
struts and he cannot lie. I
There you
beat
go,
you to
Kai.
it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Fastcart and I are identical cousins.
What did you vote for, Kai?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I did not vote.
Oh,
However this ends up, it's okay. For me, this ship seems like an answer in search of a question.
right.
They
I
said-
know what you're saying.
They said, like, hey, man, what if you want something slightly larger than a mole that also can carry a rock? And I asked myself, what would the possible use case of that be? So, like, I think, however this turns out, it'll be super interesting. We'll see. We don't know what kind of game loops they have planned for the future, but as it stands now, with all of the gameplay involved, I see absolutely zero purpose for this ship. But hey, Mazel Tov, maybe something will come up and it'll be awesome.
Yep.
This
how
ship
about
or
you?
a ship that only flies backwards? Which one would you pick?
Only flies backwards, baby. That's right. That's
No
right.
contest, right.
That's
so Pops,
right.
How about you? What did you vote for?
Well,
Or have
me
you
and
voted?
Vex in chat. We are both on point because I just love the design. I like that orange look to it, and I think the ship is very much needed because there is such a large gap between what we have now between the Prospect and the Mold and all the way up to the Orion. So I think it's very much needed to close.
Oh, the
close
Mold
that
XL.
gap.
Pops is way smarter than me, so I'm going to just
No.
change everything I said to what he said.
No.
How about you, Rain?
I mean, much like previous votes, I wasted mine. I voted for Misk because, yeah, and I apparently voted incorrectly. So
Yeah, right. So, like as you can see, I haven't voted yet, but I'm gonna vote right now live on screen, and I'm gonna go Mist, even though I know it's losing already.
The
Yeah,
one thing
yeah,
I'm
go
looking,
vote.
the one thing I like about them doing RSI winning is it kind of does what the Defender did for the BMM. It gets that initial, what is this thing supposed to look like? So they can take that and then push that, use what they learned, and then go to the Orion afterwards. So that's the only reason I would want RSI. But I think eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have BMW. We got three manufacturers that will eventually like have competing ships for each one of these roles. So
You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Kusanagi wants us to be a duck.
And the reason why I voted for Mist because I mean RSI will probably look cool. I'm not really a fan of the strut, but I'm hoping the CIG will make it more bubble and less freelancer when it comes to the design. So it's like like the whole series have an excellent field of view.
Exactly the same thing I thought too, Vasco. See, we are brothers too. So.
Vote for
Yeah,
RSI
Lefty.
so they make components for the Orion.
Hey, old Lefty, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I heard you guys had spaceships in here.
No.
Yeah, spaceships.
All right, so up next we have. Okay, so I don't know how long we're gonna spend on this because we have a few other topics, but I just want to get your quick take on some of the what's it called, presentation that we had during CitizenCon. So again, we're gonna go in order. Kusanagi, can you just give me like your highlights of your favorite presentation from CitizenCon?
Dear God. Let's see. Pyro was kind of it was cool, but it wasn't kind of like it was just cool to see the new environments. Investigations was kind of interesting to kind of go into. Let's see, the underground was really cool to think about. That was only what they showed us was only a medium-sized underground. So and they were showing us multiple levels, so that could even go in. It's supposed to be bigger. So I just can't. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do with that. Multiple speeds, I think is very, very cool. I don't understand why it turns off your chafe and your flares. I don't know how much power you're pulling from that.
Your chafe?
Chaff. Or chafe if you're not wearing the right moisturizer, I guess.
You're going back to
Lowerville-
my meme.
Lowerville was kind of cool. It would have been nice to see some more finished work. If I was not feeling well when I saw these, so I did doze off in a couple. Power play. I don't even know what the hell. I don't remember that one is that much. And then talking ships was really cool.
The power play was the one with all the fuses and turning off oxygen to the room.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. I just found the placement to kind of be a little too simplistic. Finding those like get that one fuse and take the fuse over there. I mean, I understand it's like tier 0, but that's cool. And then of course the ships, which we just kind of talked about. The biggest point I think was the surprise Chris Roberts show at the end, where and I'll just touch base on the AI change, and I'll just touch base on the AI change, which I thought was really cool. They showed everybody kind of moving around and how they swept a room and stuff. It was really interesting to see, and yeah, it was fun. So that's it.
Thank you.
Tell the truth, Kusanagi. The real highlight for you was when you finally passed that kidney stone.
That I really even didn't feel that, but it was a rough. I actually, so everybody knows now, I was in the hospital during CitizenCon in the ER. It was kind of the shittiest CitizenCon you could ever have.
This is why we need space medicine tier 0.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope you're feeling better though.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, feel better.
All right. So Face to Face, how about you?
I liked all of them. But for me, my number one would have to be Planetary.
Planetary.
Yeah, just seeing what they've done with it. One of the things that I looked at it was that as he was demonstrating it from their engine, it almost had a Unreal Engine kind of a performance to it. Unreal Engine 5, because I'm sitting here looking at it.
That's gonna be some fighting words to some people. Some people don't like that. So you don't like me saying that, but go ahead.
I know as far as that, but that's concerned. But from me working in Unreal Engine 5 and touring in it and set dressing and doing all of that stuff, like Unreal Engine 5, like it's like real time, and I'm sitting here watching him do everything, walking around the thing in real time, and everything. It's not having to be rendered
switched,
out.
so.
No.
Yeah, they haven't switched engines though. So.
No, they haven't. No. But what I'm saying is comparing it to.
Oh yeah, right. Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm comparing it to how the performance of being able to showcase your work within the engine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I follow.
All right. Go Mab. How about you?
First to what Fista said, they have said about the whole Unreal Engine 5 things that, like, yeah, Unreal Engine 5 is great, but we'll look at it, and if there's some features that it has that we want, we'll just put it into ours, right? So you're going to see a lot of the stuff that's in UE5 like start showing up in this engine because it's just a feature, right? It's not bespoke only to Unreal Engine 5.
I can definitely see in them pulling the feature where it scales based on your system. Like how many polygons it shows and whatever. I can definitely see them pulling that in.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I'm hoping for is that they do path tracing, if they can pull that in.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm sure they'll do some kind of tracing.
Yeah. They said they were.
Yeah,
they did. But they, just path tracing is just a step up from ray tracing.
Yes. So my biggest highlight, I had two of them actually. One of them in all seriousness, was the Need for Speed for two reasons, right? It's a new flight model, so it's new. The game's going to feel different. It's going to feel like a new game. It's going to get a new learning curve. It's probably going to bring it's a part of the game that was previously gate kept by a skill cap, right? If you didn't have a certain amount of skill, you just weren't going to be successful at a certain aspects of the game. I think that brings that gap a lot further down for regular people that aren't, spending a lot of time practicing how to control their flight. Because right now, all the stuff that they did and they showed can be done now if you learn how to do it, right? You don't have to joust. The people that actually know how to fly don't joust. They will pick you apart very close to you. They will stay within that bubble that they're trying to create. But again, there's a skill gap there between people that are just learning how to fly, been flying for a while but haven't been practicing PvP, and those that actually practice PvP. So I'm okay with that. And the second thing is the new ships. That I'll always love the new ships, and I'm really excited. As soon as I saw the loaner page, and I saw that the loaner for the E1 was a Cuddy Steel,
Yeah, we talked about
had
that
to have
earlier.
it. I had to have it. I was just like, look, the money flew out of my wallet. I was like, man, I'm just gonna have my ship page is just gonna be all Cuddy Steels, man.
Ain't
I'm
no
sorry,
accountant for
really.
taste in this community. Good
Yeah,
job.
nah, man. Look, Cuddy Steel is the best ship in the game, hands down. It's like a cheat
Uh-huh.
code in Star
Yeah.
Citizen.
Hey, people,
Steel in my heart.
people seem to be agreeing with you because they made like $5 million since.
No, but those are good ships. Though I am, the little kid in me is kind of disappointed because, like, oh man, I wish I was straight to flyable. Like, you already look, you just chopped the fat parts off of the MSR and put wings on it. Damn it, like, come on, give me
It's
the
a bit
shit.
more work
But
than that, go map.
I know. But I was like, darn, man, I was hoping for something that was straight to flyable. But yeah, I love the fact that they're building out that space in the ships, in the ship space, and it feels like while they haven't gone back to redo a lot of the mistakes that they made in the MSR, they've learned from them in their design of this ship. So I'm excited about that.
And that's an interesting question. I know Kaizen is next, but I just want to go a quick round robin. So how soon do you think the Spirit will be out? So let's start from the bottom and go up. Give me like a range of months or years or however you want. So Rain, how soon do you think the Spirit will be out?
Sometime between now and the heat death of the universe.
Option Face?
Next year, CitizenCon.
Next year, CitizenCon. Okay.
What's the after CitizenCon, the event, the big event, ship event?
IAE.
IAE. Next year, IAE.
Okay. Oh, Lefty?
Hold on, I'm cheating. I'm going to the roadmap.
Kaizen?
Next summer.
Next summer. Okay. Go map.
Either December or Invictus.
This December or next December?
This December.
You think it's gonna be that fast? Okay.
I will say, look at the Talon. That's all I'll say.
Picture face. When do you think the Spirit will be out?
319.01 ABs. Z formation and 2 snaps up.
Oh my God, I recognize that reference too. Makusanagi, how about you?
Definitely 2023, I would say, and I mean it's they again like other ships that we like the Defender to the BMM. Like I mentioned earlier, they have like the style already figured out for the Crusader lines, and it's kind of the same ship. They just have to kind of like cut out what they're going to change for the bombers. I think it's just the internal, like the middle section is the only thing they're going to change out. So like a year.
So like a year, okay.
Like a year.
All right. So, Olaf, do you want to change your answer? Or you have an answer?
Honestly, I think that they might have just finished the concept up recently and don't have anything scheduled on it, if it's the unannounced ship I'm looking at.
So,
But yeah, there's nothing definitive. I would say they're going to take their time on it just because Crusader's got a decent lineup, yes. So they're going to, I would think that they would move on to some other manufacturers or ships.
I'm going to still patent-based answer. I'm going to say CitizenCon or IE of next year, 2023. Kaizen, go ahead.
No, you said a year.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kaizen, what would your highlight from CitizenCon?
Okay. Wow. So there was a lot. I to be clear, I watched this thing live with you guys. No. Give me 1 minute, please. I watched this thing live with you guys. Then I watched it a second time, the full 6 hours, top to bottom. Then I watched everybody's coverage, and the people I like, people I disagree with, whatever. I watched everybody's coverage, and then I watched it after like 3 or 4 days. I watched it a third time, top to bottom, and I really pulled apart everything and thought long and hard about what I think about this. And some people that know me are going to be getting some ships because I am very, very pleased with what I saw at CitizenCon this year. I want to throw them a couple $100, and I don't really have any ships that I like. I want to get ships in the game, so I'm not really like whatever.
Yo, homie! No, I'm kidding.
There you go. So like, I loved it. I think the theme, the central theme to this CitizenCon was everything was getting deeper, richer, and more complex. And so that was the theme with regard to when they showed off, like from top to bottom. First thing they showed off was some pyro systems and the planetary tech, deeper, richer, and more complex. Then they showed off the investigation missions, and they're taking the mission system, deeper, richer, and more complex. When they showed off that underground, version 2 or whatever, and the medium spot, I was thinking at first I was a little let down by that segment because I thought the talk was great, but it was all just concept art. And then at the end of it, they were like, and here's some stuff in engine, and they showed it, and I was like, oh yes. The ships I thought were very cool. They fit a very good use case, and I was super, super excited. The stuff with the engineering and all of that, deeper, richer, and more complex. The Moby Glass stuff, the AI stuff. I thought it was very interesting that they mentioned that basically they threw out the old AI because it was like, eh. And Chris literally said at that little talk at the end, yeah, we threw it out, started over, here's whatever. And it's like, okay, that explains, I think, a lot. And it shows, like, people have been saying, like, what have they been working on? Well, like, they don't, a lot of times when they hit a problem, they don't tell us they hit a problem until after they work a solution. When server meshing, they were like, hey, look, this took longer. We threw it out. We had to do this other way. Now PES, we're doing it this way, and we think it's going to work better. Same thing with the AI. Like I said, deeper, richer, more complex. Now, I think Chris or there's a lot of negativity. There was a lot of negativity focused on the Chris Roberts Richard Tyre, hour and a half talk at the end.
Right.
And I totally no, it wasn't. It was okay. Yeah, you're right. About 2.5 hours. But last year they got shit that Chris didn't talk enough. And hey, how come Chris isn't at the end for a big something? And then this year they did it. And it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But that talk had, if you go back, I think we were kind of tired and whatever. So people were like, all right already. But like, because I've gone back and rewatched it 2 separate other times where I was literally sitting down, like ready for it, and knew what I was getting into. That talk had so much stuff where they showed off stuff. Like they showed off an asteroid base. Did anybody else catch that? They showed an asteroid base. And that is one of the things that I absolutely love about Elite Dangerous. And that Elite Dangerous has those cool asteroid bases. But in fairness, the way Elite Dangerous does it is it's a sort of one screen picture as you land, and then it's one room with some kiosks, you know Star Citizen is going to do that way more justice. I am there for that. I'm so excited for that asteroid base. The stuff that they showed with the speed changes, deeper, richer, more complex. They're basically Elite Dangerous had two things that they did better than Star Citizen from jump. Their galaxy model was better and their combat model was better, because Elite Dangerous gave up from the very beginning and said, we're going to do World War II dogfighting in space. And Star Citizen was like, we're going to make it more realistic. Well, the fact of the matter is actual realism for what space combat is going to be is like The Expanse. You're going to be everybody on the ship sitting around looking at one guy who's plotting the courses of the missiles going, we hit! And then you go, yay! Like, what we want out of a video game isn't realism. We want cool space planes. That's what our ships look like. That's what we're building. That's what we want. And I think CIG has recognized that, and they're backtracking from a previously suboptimal decision, and they're making it more like gameplay over realism. In this case, is a very smart idea. So yes, after my monologue, I just want to say everything that they showed, I absolutely love it. I'm here for it, and I'm going to throw them a couple of bucks because they deserve it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaizen asked for 1 minute and it went on for 5.
Mic drop.
Hey, it was worth it.
Have you not met me?
Oh, Lefty, how about you?
You know, I just want to preface all this by saying, yeah, there was a lot of community just rebroadcasting and reactions to just all of Star Citizen, CitizenCon this year. And I want to give props to Soul Citizen for being kind of the level-headed, looking at things for how they are and having that continued vision, because the longer that I back, the longer that my attention span gets for people that actually look at things how they are, and the shorter my attention span gets for people that look at it and do those, just hip shot reactions at things. I think there are a lot of people that are upset at a lot of things that happen in CitizenCon. For me personally, I think it was a lot of meat given to a lot of different topics that they've touched on before, but they haven't really dived into and gone into depth. I would say the one thing that probably disappointed the most people, but didn't disappoint me at all, is talking ship. You know, a lot of people saying only 3 ships shown. IAE is a month away.
Right.
I think it makes a lot of sense to not show all your cards at CitizenCon that way. I would say the top couple things out of all this, I think just seeing power play come to fruition, even though right now it's still kind of a proof of concept showing of it. I'm really, really, really looking forward to that being in the game in particular. And I would say that the new Underground, I'm that ground-based FPS combined arms kind of guy wanting close air support on some Star Marine action, and I really can't wait for even more variety as that goes forward. The couple things where I feel like, just me personally, they showed something and it was kind of a tease. Design brief investigations. They're making investigation missions a bit more complex, a little bit more in-depth, going a little bit further with that, but what I really would have liked to have seen was at least the first little steps into chaining missions. You know, Tony Zervek's been talking about that for years, how you can go on one mission, find clues for the next mission, go on the other mission, or decide to not go on the next mission, and chaining missions that way. I think there's a little bit of that involved in that design brief for investigation missions, but they really didn't go too much into that. I'd like to see more of that in particular.
All right. Thank you for that, No Lefty. Appreciate it. Pops, how about you?
Oh, wow. For me, it was kind of a lifting up of the curtain kind of a thing, and giving us a bigger, fuller picture from last year. Let's see, I really enjoyed the EVA part with like the Superman. I like that. I was waiting because I really wanted to see more on Pyro, so they gave us Pyro Overload on that end. But what really got my spider sense tingling when they first started, I'm going to go to like Kai, and I was like, underground, yeah, okay, what are they going to do? But as it went on further and further into the concept, and it just went deeper. And like I said, my spider sense, I'm just thinking about the gameplay that they're thinking about. And we saw the driller, and we got a picture that made me think, are we gonna get a driller? But it just brought to life so much gameplay. Maybe we'll get to have orgs will get to have their own base, underneath. Maybe we'll get into, maybe orgs will be able to do some type of manufacturing and have that and protect their base underground.
I need to interrupt real quick. Pop said the driller. Driller is a brand dual ship. Do you mean something?
No, you're right. I'm sorry. What's the
like a big earth mover, like the boring
Earth,
company.
right? The boring, the bore.
Okay.
Yeah, right,
Okay,
right.
thank you. All right, thank you for that. Just wanted to clarify.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I was hoping that we get one of those. But yeah, the underground really got me, and it was a surprise. It really got me because, like I said in the beginning, I was kind of yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right.
So
all right, thank you for that, Pop. Wayne, how about you?
Oh boy, I think I want to preface this with agreeing with what Kai said, because Kai and I talked about this, and there are certain content creators that are on record, on video, bitching about Chris not being around last CitizenCon, who are on video 2 days ago. Oh, this was brutal. This was too long. It was too much. And it's like, do you want 30 minutes of Chris or 15 minutes of Chris? Do you want 45, an hour, and 30? What do you want? Grow up and stop being a bunch of freaking man-children. It's the most frustrating thing to see these content creators who are on video literally doing the damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. He wasn't around last year, they're mad. He was here for 2 hours this year, they're mad. Would an hour have been too much or too little? Who knows? They would have been mad one way or another.
And those are the same people that spend hours every day talking about Star Citizen without that new talk from Chris Roberts. That's so ironic.
Yeah, it is. But so November 19th is my 10th anniversary in Star Citizen. It's the date that I kickstarted. And this CitizenCon, I would say the entirety of it made me probably the happiest I've been. I love everything about Pyro. I'm the kind of person that I don't think my dream gameplay is going to be in Star Citizen anytime in the next half decade, if not longer. My dream is being on a ship and finding a jump point that didn't exist or no one knew existed, and then discovering an entirely new solar system that no one knew existed. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Some people have told me to have some more optimism. But seeing Pyro, I want to go explore Pyro so bad. The underground stuff was amazing, but I want spelunking because, in the Carrick commercial, we had the guy actually rappelling down the side of a big cliff. I want to do that, like the exploration stuff. The combat flight model, I want to be an adjusted, well-functioning adult and just wait and see. I want to wait and see instead of, again, people on YouTube screaming about how this is going to destroy the game, and PvPers mad because they don't get to circle around Port All-Star all day and call themselves PvPers, or whatever. It's whatever. I'm gonna wait and see. Lorville looked freaking amazing, and for me, the biggest was I sat and listened to Chris and Richard intently for those 2 hours, and I was in a watch party in the Skunkworks with Katie and the rest of that crew. The EVA, the new movement, the new mobiGlass, the AI, all of the stuff that we got shown was just phenomenal. And I think my frustration comes with when you love something and you're super excited for it, and it's like, God, I can't wait for that new EVA. I want to go and play with it now. Because I'm just as upset that Starfield got delayed. And Kerbal Space Program 2 got delayed and all this other type of stuff. So like I was the most EVA, the T2 EVA is what got me out of the entirety of Star Citizen. I know that's probably something like, well, no, somebody else. Was it Pops that said EVA looked awesome, or
Yeah, Pops.
yeah. So glad to see somebody else saw that, but I thought that was amazing. And if you, again, when it gets me when people complain about things, because if you go watch how astronauts move around the International Space Station, they move like that with arms behind and head out, and then they reach out and grab, or they put their feet straight down or whatever. So anyway, doing a Kai here, sorry, monologuing. I really, really enjoyed CitizenCon, all of it. I'm just really excited for what comes next.
I have a question for Rain.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Rain. Rain, you doing a giveaway for your anniversary?
Oh God, no! I'm broke.
So I was gonna say, doing a Kai is a thing now. Kai, congratulations, you've been verified.
Wow, I didn't even know she took her pants off.
Oh God! Oh my!
Hi.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I just left the window open. I apologize.
Oh my!
Hey, you messed with the bull, you get horns.
I'm gonna go get another drink on that.
What the hell, Kai? I thought we were friends.
Oh, yeah.
My.
Actually, Rain's going to be doing a reverse giveaway. You can just send her ships for her anniversary. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good idea.
My birthday. So the thing is, November is my anniversary in Star Citizen, and December is my birthday. So that's all I'm
Between those
saying.
two, you should be able to get something. Well, I'm just
Hey,
gonna say,
send her all the Cuddy Steels. It'll be great.
I'm just gonna say,
that shit down and use it for something else. I swear.
yeah, I'm just gonna say, I had my birthday on Saturday for CitizenCon, so I can't really ask for much more than that. But my anniversary of becoming a backer is October 19th. So hey, I got something else coming up. But as far as the presentation goes, I'm surprised no one mentioned, like, it was surprised to see him, and he appeared multiple times, but Phil Collins was in the presentation a couple of times. I'm kidding. That was
disrespectful. So
that was Ian.
I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you, Fastcart.
That was Ian Leyland. That was him. So he did pretty well. I don't. Because I know, I'm pretty sure he's been in Inside Star Citizen and stuff like that, but he did pretty well carrying the presentation that he was in. I was disappointed that I didn't see Sandy. I know she's not really officially a part of the project anymore, but I was just hoping that, just a peek to say hi or whatever. So it's it's not really, it doesn't really feel like CitizenCon without Sandy. So hopefully she'll be back. The other thing is, the background and the studio that they used, the Phoenix Constellation, they had a bar, had a desk, and a working bar. That I was expecting to see Afterpub pop up as a reply. So yeah, I thought this presentation went pretty well. As far as Chris
I think
Roberts
it'll
goes,
be cool to see more of that. Yeah, and the videos coming up, they're going to be using that a lot. That'll be cool.
yeah, that's the new studio. That's going to be the new Inside Star Citizen and everything now. But as far as Chris Roberts goes, yeah, people were disappointed last year because he didn't appear enough. I was one of the people who said I wish he could have talked more last year. But I was
Congratulations.
Maybe I was like at the hour mark. I was like, oh, how long is this gone? But I didn't really want them to stop. I was just wondering. Time-wise, how long it's gonna do? Because I didn't want to miss anything because I had to take a mile break or something like that. So I was okay with the Chris.
I just think it was
we
just weren't expecting to. Our minds weren't geared up for the endurance. Like the content was amazing, right. But we had been like the content had been fed to us at a certain clip. Right, where you got a video and then like an interlude,
maybe 15 minutes.
Interlude.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, it would have been fine, except for, I mean, if we lived in a world where you could go back and watch that at any time on video,
right.
then it would be fine. But I'm very irate that they gave it to us. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you can watch it anytime you like.
Here's the thing, too, is they posted a long time ago in that letter from the chairman that there would not be a keynote presentation during this CitizenCon. and that it would be digital only. So getting that talk, I think, is the absolute best thing that could have happened, because they're presenting more information, whether you'll like it or not. And I thought it was all good information. They had excellent video props to go along with it. And like I said about everything, you know, I think it was a lot of things that they've touched on before, but they added a lot more meat to it this time. There's a lot more to digest, and I really liked it.
Yeah, the best part was watching Jared's face when they would go back to him sometimes, because he was like, "Oh my god." Like, all right, okay, all right, we get it. And then, you know, of course, I wonder how many people ended up in the hospital playing the Imagine drinking game.
Yeah,
You know, every time
it
Chris said
wasn't
Imagine.
that bad. Depending on how many words you use, but yeah.
I went through a couple bottles and I was live on air with you guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, so, like, seriously. Oh, go ahead.
I think Jared was sitting there, like, looking at the camera going, how do I tell the boss to shut up and not lose my job?
Yeah, one thing I'm hoping for is that they make a super clip of the videos that were shown during the
I've got it for you already. Hold on.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But
I'm not going to hear, but I think I would appreciate that.
So going back to, like, but to the original point, like when you grade CitizenCon, and when we look at this project, let's be honest, this project is unlike any other game that we have for the most part. Like, I think Ashes of Creation is sort of a similar sort of scope and a very different theme, but like all of the games that we have, we as gamers are constantly bitching and moaning, rightly so, I believe, that like we're sick of all of the games that we love copping out, taking the easy route, going simplified, dumbing it down, putting out stuff that is just meh content, minimal viable product content, and then like moving on and like, hey, we got your money, we're moving on. This game and this entire CitizenCon was, everything was about, hey, we're doing it better. We're doing it deeper, richer, more complex. It's going to be, we're not taking any of the easy cop-outs. We're going more deep, more whatever. And yes, the game is taking forever, but so what? Like,
I feel like you're talking dirty to me.
It's this one. It's this one project where I don't want cop-outs. I don't want just whatever. I want, take however long you need and build the dream. And if that means that it's 5 more years, okay, fine. So what? I'm enjoying it.
Don't say that, guy. Don't say that, guy.
No. Because I think, seriously, where we're at now as opposed to a year ago, there's so much actual more game to play right now every day in the verse. And a year from now, even if it's not released, there's going to be so much more. So we're getting to the point where 2 years from now, right? There's so much more stuff to do that it's actually a fully playable and enjoyable game before release. So what?
And the unfortunate thing is that there'll still be people who say, even gaming journalists will say there's no gameplay, but we know better inside the community.
Yeah, but I'm not going to let stupid people take away from my enjoyment of what we do.
Yeah, let's call that a skill differential. That's a skill differential. They don't know how to play games.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, from the dev perspective, it makes me happy to see my colleagues in this industry pushing these changes, because like if you take a look at just not just Star Citizen, but like if you look at what's happening with New World, if you look at what's happened with No Man's Sky, if you go all the way back to Final Fantasy XIV and what Yoshida-san and Creative Biz Dev Unit 3 has been doing, and if you even look at Bethesda, right? People don't talk about how this is the first Bethesda game, Starfield, to be delayed ever. That there are 500 devs working on Starfield. The most Bethesda's ever had was 200 on Fallout 76 across 3 studios. That, you've got, again, KSP2 got delayed. That, CD Projekt has somehow managed to change the narrative around Cyberpunk, and they're constantly trying to fix it and bring it up to date. And all these games are constantly getting delayed because I think the industry is finally starting to see that, you know what, we've been pushing too far and we have finally pushed too far. And our employees are tired and broken, and our customers are tired of our garbage. That's my hope.
I just wanted to give a call out to Rogue Captain Harris. He said the longer they talk, the higher percentage of we accidentally leak something. There was a time when Chris Roberts interrupted Richard Tyler talking about creatures or something like that, or aliens or something like that. So yeah, you're right about that. All right, so I just want to wrap this up and go over some of the things that at the end of the page that you already know about the script. We talked about the Crusader and the STV. Community Hub will coming up next. We talked about Halloween horror in the previous episode of Soul Talk. It has a new players guide, so yeah, hopefully that'll help people out. We already talk about the free digital goodies and everything like that. I haven't looked at my hanger recently, but they're supposed to be coming. Hopefully it's there by now. Has anyone seen it in their hanger?
No, I haven't seen mine yet.
Yeah, in
Okay.
mine. It's in mine.
Yours? Yeah. Okay, good. So
I just want to say that's
coming.
a striking picture they have of you holding that whale.
Yeah,
that's a very good one.
You like my hair,
especially
the mohawk?
Especially the open jacket there with no undershirt. It's really cool.
No, that's a 70s look. That's a 70s look. They also had the the Spaniel fleet with JRDF and the immerse itself with the Toby eye tracker. So yeah, that was CitizenCon. And in a future episode, we'll be covering the talk that Chris Roberts and Richard Tyler had. But it went on for. I'm not gonna say it went on for a while. It was just a lot to process, so we're gonna make a whole episode out of that.
I sent you. Eradicator did a vid condensing and showing all of the video snippets. I sent that to you in DMs on Discord.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So up next, we have introducing a new community hub. That was one of the presentations that they had during the show. Has anyone used a new community hub? What did
That's
they
awesome.
compared to the other? Why is it awesome compared to the other one?
Well, I mean, so let me just say, like, from the perspective of being a community manager, this is a fantastic idea. I love this. I think this shows that Xylo just love that man. He knows what he's doing. It's the like the whole user interface and user experience and user flow of this website is just phenomenal. Where you've got home, you've got discover, you've got like a featured section at the top. You've got things sort of as you scroll down set up in live streams, trending, and tutorials and gameplay and stuff. You can create a new post. You can link your Twitch chat to your Twitch channel to this, so that if you're streaming, your Twitch chat goes live to the community hub in live streams, because there's a couple people streaming, like Astropub is streaming and a couple others. It's just really crisp, really clean. User flow is really, really slick, and it's just a really well-designed website. And it gives people the ability to interact with the Star Citizen community, I think, in a centralized location, which is what the hub is designed to do. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's better in every single way than the old version. It's just better.
I'm looking at this now. I skimmed over it before, but now that I'm really taking a look at it, the shared content calendar. That's something that Gilded has.
Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to bring over some of those pieces over to here.
Yeah.
Cool. And more ways to socialize and more. So yeah, check out the new community hub. Thank you for putting the links into the Twitch chat, Amber Kuchinagi. So yeah, this is the community, the hub right now. Yeah, it does look much like. I give you that. Cool.
Like there's no place to comment, right? There's like no place to like for people to kind of like talk crap or anything like that.
I don't know. I mean, that's just Spectrum.
Because it just looks like that's why I think it's really a cool thing. If it just allows people to kind of find people who love Star Citizen and create content in Star Citizen.
And you can comment and upvote and share and things like that.
Okay.
So like if you scroll down to trending, fastcart.
Okay.
Like if you on the left side where it says live stream trending, you can see they've got upvotes and there is like a little comment thing.
Oh, okay. Upvoting. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So up next we have the Squadron 42 monthly report that's out. We're not really going to cover it at these days, but I just want to let people know that it's out. Hopefully, you can put the link in there and switch out if you're interested. But yeah, the Squadron 42 monthly report is out. After that, we have a portfolio. This is the lower post from this week, and talk about Stegman clothing and uniforms. So this is, I don't know if people remember, but quite a few years ago, there was a subscriber flare for Stegman, and it came out with a jacket, and then it came out with the whole suit. And this is just a lower post going over that. So check that out if you're interested. And this is something that I added. So I don't know if people are into this, but people like me use voice attacks. It makes it easier to play one-handed. And they're having HCS voice pack that's adding a new star. This one is called Gamma, but this is from Claudia Christian from Babylon 5, and I'm probably going to get this sooner rather than later. So if you're interested in HCS voice pack and you love Babylon 5, this is a pack for you.
Oh, that's cool.
And also they have other voice packs for Star Citizen. So these are all the voice packs you can get in there at the moment. So I can't. Oh, there it is. So yeah, there's quite a few, and this is only for Star Citizen. Because they used to be able to buy one and get them for both Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, but they decided to separate that. So if you want to get both, you got to buy twice. But yeah, these are all the packages, voice pack for Star Citizen. Final thing about this year's voice pack is that there's a pre-order competition involved. So if you pre-order the Gamma voice pack, you send in your content, your order number in the content field, as well as Gamma Rockland in the subject field. You'll be entered into a contest where you'll be able to have Claudia Christian says, or Gamma, a character Gamma says, welcome aboard, and it'll be your name. Or it'll be like, welcome aboard fastcart, or welcome aboard Domab, or however you want her to do that. So if you want to enter that, go for it. Does anyone else use ACS voice pack besides me?
I have a few.
I do.
I've got
I
one,
haven't
but yeah, the game kind of changes a lot, so trying to keep up with it.
yeah, it's like,
It's a little tricky. So when I get really into Star Citizen for a patch, I boot up voice attack and at least put in a couple commands, but no combat essentials or anything like that.
So how does do they update the voice packs? How does that work?
They update it, but it's like maybe twice a year, if that.
So they'll go
Yeah,
back to
they're
the
not
voice pack?
really-
No, to be
Yeah.
clear, to be clear, the way that it works, Kusanagi, is you don't have to update the voice actors' work. You just have to, because they just basically get them to say like 10,000 lines.
Yeah.
And then what needs to be updated is like all of the context of the coding, so that when you say like take off, it will
bound to
throw
something.
one set of commands or versus another. Like, it might say like ready takeoff or whatever. It's just check engines or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the part that changes isn't the lines that they say. The part that changes is the contextual
I just wasn't sure if
mapping.
wasn't sure if they had changed both or not.
Well,
So like Mir Falan
Falan
has passed away. So like
yeah,
hers
so,
would be
so
good.
they can't really update her, but every once in a while they do have updates to individual voice pack, and that's to change. That's because of the changes in the keybinds for the game. Because
Right,
a lot
okay.
of people don't want to go in and change it manually. So HCS will offer them occasionally, but I don't want to say it's not as often as it changes, but it's like twice a year that they come out with an updated voice pack, put it that way, for the one that you already purchased. But the good news is that once you purchase it, the updates are all free, so you don't have to worry about buying it over again.
And you do have to be a little bit careful who you play with and how your audio is set up when you got stuff like this going on, in case somebody runs around yelling eject a few times.
And another thing is you gotta make sure that you don't want to use a RTX voice or some kind of noise cancellation, because that could affect how voice stack picks up your voice. Because it was like I was trying to use it like 6 months ago or something like that, and I just could not get it to work until I realized I was using the RTX voice and I was messing it up. So that's a tip from me to you. So up next we have our Machinima, and this one is called STAR CITIZEN Chongqing Opening Film by GongYu, and this came out a month ago. This picked up by Griffin. He'll give us more information about it later, but this is 7 minutes, 39 seconds. So if you're going to grab a drink, grab a snack or something like that, go for it and let's enjoy.
All right. How long is it?
7 minutes, 39 seconds.
Okay.
你可曾仰望星空，去寻找属于你自己的那颗星星？在迷茫中寻找归宿，在星海里拥抱温暖。再来一场别样的旅行。茫茫星海，你们接力传递，茫茫人海，你们默默无闻，功名实在，你们刻下青春的印记，人生实在，总会光芒溢彩。准备好了，就出发，去飞，去旷野迎风翱翔，就像草原的雄鹰，天空都是你的舞台。 游戏本质，探究人与宇宙的潜在关系。游戏不止游戏，它连接了人与昨夜的梦，它连接了人与今日的好友，它连接了人与明天的希望。从天狗食月到万户飞天，从东方红1号到天宫空间站，凝聚每一个人的力量和每一份梦想。中国道路，中国精神，中国力量。我们会在这片宇宙里遍地开花。9月24号晚7点30分，相约中国，重庆2952。
There are a couple really cool things about that. The amount of localization, like you see all the text on the signs and everything, that's really cool.
Hey, Griff.
Hey, everybody. Hey,
They still got a minute in credits.
No, it's just credits. It's just credits.
Okay.
Yeah, I told FC I wanted to jump in to preface the conversation before you guys started it. Even though this is our Machinima section, that was their friggin' commercial for Bar Citizen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was confused there for like the first time.
I just want to say this. As many of you all know, the Chinese don't play when it comes to gaming. So we better be ready to step our game up, because these jokers were not. That was for a freaking Bar Citizen commercial, basically. So I just wanted to preface the conversation with that and keep that in mind as you talk about this one.
And before that, I just want to thank you, Coming 65, for the raid. Yeah, that was, we're just watching a Machinima, but as Griffin just said, that was a Bar Citizen commercial for it. So that was deep. I was not expecting that, because I was like, halfway through, I was like, well, I should let other people talk. I'm excited, but let's go and, are you finished, Griffin?
I'm done.
Okay, good. Okay, Rain, what do you think of this commercial for Bar Citizen?
Well, unfortunately, I don't speak Chinese, but in Japanese, sugoi! Sugoi, sugoi.
I get that
Hey,
reference.
sugoi. Freaking, that was the coolest thing I have seen in the last several months. That was really, really awesome. It's when people do stuff like that that reminds me why I'm still here 10 years later, when they talk about yesterday's dream and tomorrow's hope and everything, and the fact that we're all here because we dreamed of the same verse that Chris dreamed of. And when you see videos like this, it shows people, hey, no, that dream is real. It's happening. And now we're just hoping for the future of that dream to continue moving forward, to get, as Kai said earlier, just bigger and better and more complex and deeper and just, yeah, that was fantastic. US side, EU side, y'all better be stepping up.
That's a tall order. Cause not only did they do this commercial, they had that freaking not Bengal carrier, retribution models too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So they don't,
3
like
meters
said, they
long.
don't play. What was that?
That retribution model is 3 meters long.
3 meters. I'm not surprised. It's longer than that, but yeah, I'll take a word for it. Yeah, it was something. So thank you for that. Were you done, Rain?
Oh yeah, no, that was just really
Oh.
cool. That was just really awesome. I like that a lot.
All right, Pops, how about you? What you thought?
Yeah, I don't speak another language like Rain, but I do speak jive. So that was shimmy down, lay me to the bone on that one. Yeah, that was
Give the
yeah.
tie.
Whoa,
Yeah, yeah,
Flag on the
yeah.
play.
Hey,
Nope.
hey.
No, that's from Airplane. It's from Airplane.
No, yours was
Not-
fine. Yours was fine. Where fastcart was going wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the jive talk from Airplane. So yeah, yeah, this man, when I saw it at the end, it was a bar citizen. Because I mean, I loved all the shots, and then I was like, "This is a commercial for bar." I was like, "That's unbelievable," and you can imagine how much time this took.
Not only
To
that,
go
the
and-
technical
yeah.
watching here is animated. I'm not sure how they did this part.
Yeah, the ship flying on it, and I'm like, "Wow!" I mean, yeah. One thing Griff said, yeah, man, they step up the game, man. They in outer space. I don't know. This is
This shot right
wow,
here,
okay.
the landing. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they got all these people together to and all
You
these.
know, they
shots.
have a big population over there, so I'm not surprised about that.
My only thing that I really was has no negative on them is that I would be so glad when they get this herky jerky movement stuff, because these machinas will come out looking so much better than
Well, that
Yeah.
might have to be where the servers are right now in relation to
Yeah,
China. I don't know if
yeah.
there are Chinese servers.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that, when they get those herky jerky, legs flipping and twisting and all that, I'll be, glad when they get that sorted out in the server meshing and all that. And the machinimas will come out.
And PS,
so much
yeah.
better. Yeah, but the only thing about this, they made this game look, oh man, so great, and it looks like it's all ready to go, and people don't realize
Ready to go, yeah. That is the one negative about these
Yeah.
machines. People think it's a full game. People don't realize that it's still,
A lot of
it's still
editing.
in development.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I'm done.
all right, thank you.
Sorry
Lefty,
about that.
no problem. No, that was fine. Lefty, how about you? What did you thought about this Machinima commercial?
Well, I mean, this is pretty telling of a few different things. So I'm gonna, I guess, dish it out in two different perspectives. One is the what we haven't really heard yet. They have a lot of localization that has gone into the Chinese gameplay. I don't know how they were doing that. If they went in and manually replaced all those signs with Chinese characters, that's one thing. But it looks like CIG is really putting in the effort to get that crowd in. And the Chinese are big on MMOs. And so you talk about, everybody's worried about Star Citizen funding. I don't think there's any worry about that when they just keep broadening into new markets all the time. I think we're going to continue to see record funding on that note. But then the other side, that community, obviously, they put a lot of effort into this Star Citizen. And I know there was a significant amount of attendance to the Bar Citizens in China. And I think there was where was it, South Korea or some other Bar Citizen that was going on at the same
Korea.
time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
South
and they
Korea.
had a video conference between the two that was going on at the same time. That's awesome to me, because I think Star Citizen is one of those things that it's going on around the world, and this is part of it that I really have not seen in the community until just now, and it's just really nice to see.
I think real quick, if I can, like people, like you said with funding, when Chris did his little opening and gave us all the stats, right? And he
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about the 4 million accounts with 1.5 million having bought game
1.7.
packages.
1.7.
Yeah, 1.7 million. That's still several million people who have registered who haven't even bought a game package yet, right? So like, I definitely think, when you see the game like this and you see that people are playing for hours on end, and these communities are growing and they're branching out into these new markets and stuff and doing all that localization We got nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, no, there's on that note, just one last thing about it. I was watching one of the after streams, I think it was Astropub during one of his panels, and he was talking about comparing those stats that were delivered in that very beginning address to the current game stats on Steam. And the only games ahead of Star Citizen were all free to play. If you ranked Star Citizen against the games on Steam, it would be something like 7th for active concurrent players. And during the peaks, you know, it was bumping up around the top couple. It's just amazing. It's kind of going in on its own launcher and its own ecosystem, and it's up that high related to the largest gaming platform in the world.
Yeah, there's some interesting numbers there because he said what, like we've had 50,000 average with like 100 and some thousand peak.
130 something thousand peak.
Yeah, the 10th most played game is Terraria at 56,000 on Steam, and then it goes up to Grand Theft Auto, Rust, Destiny, PUBG, Team Fortress, Apex, Lost Ark, Dota, and there's 317,000 people playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive right now. So like we've got peaking out more than there's 143,000 people playing Lost Ark, which is the 3rd most played game on Steam right now. So we've got more people peaking than Lost Ark has, and we're beating on a daily average. There's 50,000 games on Steam, and Star Citizen's in the top 10 in comparison on just daily average.
Yeah,
and this game isn't even early access; it's still in development. So
it's freaking
pre-alpha, pre-alpha.
No, it's not pre-alpha
no,
anymore.
they say alpha.
It's just alpha.
Come on,
yeah,
now.
just alpha.
No, look at the launcher.
It says pre-alpha until well, they probably just didn't update it, but they've been calling alpha and out of pre-alpha for a while. So yeah.
Go to the website Alpha 3, play Alpha 3.17.2 today. It's alpha. Come on.
I'm just teasing.
Okay, Kaizen, what are your thoughts?
Wow, all these non-Mandarin speaking scrubs. Let's see. Here's my thought. Here's my thoughts to the makers of this video. 谢谢你精彩的视频。等好，谢谢你。Thank you very much for an awesome video. This video is great. This community is fantastic. And just the love and the work that was put into this is fantastic. And that's why I love this community. And I'm going to go back to drinking whiskey now.
I understand.
Is it Centauri whiskey?
So, okay. 谢谢你 is thank you very much.
Okay.
精彩的视频 is fantastic video. 顶好 means the best. And then I ended it with 谢谢你 again. I know very little Mandarin, but I just wanted to throw some out there for the people that are amazing.
你在哪里说的中文，凯森？
下期不见。
Oh.
Domo arigato.
Look what's going on
Now
here.
stop flirting with each other now.
Right?
Get a room.
Come out.
Yes.
Come out. What are your thoughts?
Man, I was about to run through a wall watching this damn video, man. This got me so hyped. Like,
It was great.
It was hype, man. It was good. You know, Pops, I know you don't like the herky jerkiness, but I appreciate that it's in these videos, right? That it's, you know, hey, we ain't trying to hide nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, only thing they left out of here was a 30K. You know, but no, yeah, look, man, you can have, you know, I think leaving that herky jerkiness of the movement sometimes in there kind of really just shows you where we're at, man. Like, we got a beautiful game with a lot of stuff to do and and it's an open canvas. I think a lot of people that are complaining is that it's not just laid out for them, right? They just can't jump in and just be on rails. You're like, nah, you got to have some imagination, asshole. Go figure it out. But it's you know, no, this was a well done video. I mean, I can imagine how many shots, how many hours of footage, and I mean, and they covered it.
Editor had to go through all that.
Yeah, no, this is top tier. This is top tier editing. I'm like, holy crap, guys! Be careful. Well, yeah,
Right.
it's you know
So well done.
it kind of makes me concerned a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, CR could be like, you know what, screw y'all, I'm about to just go to China and just build it over there because they just go, you know what I'm saying? And because they'll be like, hey, thank you. They'll be like,
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time that they grab people from the community to help out with the project, especially like Teller used to do Star Citizen video, but then he started working for CIG.
No, I'm talking about CR saying, you know what, y'all are jerks. Y'all been kicking my ass. I've been trying to build this for y'all. Y'all don't appreciate nothing. I'm just gonna move to Shanghai and be done with it.
I will say on that note, though, it does kind of give me PTSD flashbacks to Atlas when you get these like 200-man groups from China running at you naked. It's no joke.
I mean, but dude, I mean, and that really goes to show because it's crazy. They just talked about the localization efforts that are going in, and this is why, right? Because the community is strong over there. I mean, I wonder if they got show me. I put the closed caption on and show me like the Chinese version of Salty Mike. I'm just curious if that exists.
Oh,
you know what I'm
saying? Oh my God!
So I have a question. I have a question. If I can. Hey, go Mab. Do you think the fighting scenes were from actually in Star Citizen?
Everything was in game. Yeah, except for when they was showing the actual city of I
know.
But all this stuff was that stuff right
like
there. Everything, all this stuff is in game.
And I'm wondering how they got
they sped it up. They sped it up.
But they staged all of that.
Yeah,
and all in the fight scenes.
Well done. Well done.
They just, I mean, it's called. Hey guys, this is what we're gonna do. Ready, action. All right, back to your positions. Do it again. I'm getting another angle, and it was just fantastic, top tier editing, right?
And don't forget
and camera work.
And don't forget, this video gave us another nickname for fastcart, which is Soaring Prairie Eagle.
Thank you for that, Kyle.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, well, and the voiceover. Like the thing is, the voiceover piece. Like I said, like the video was amazing. But the voiceover piece, even if you closed your eyes and couldn't understand a damn word he was saying,
it's pretty good voice.
It still will get you hyped. Like you was like, damn, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to play this game, bro.
And you know what part got me though? When the music crescendoed up and it went to the bobbling head doll on the
that was beautiful.
On the dashboard. I was like, okay, I'm done.
All right, so thank you for that, GoMap. For face-to-face, what are your thoughts?
All right, so everybody's sending praise to this. It is great video, but let me bring some reality check to y'all for a minute.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. When the Chinese people come to play games, they come to play games.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. Like whatchamacallit just said, Lefty said, because I've been in those Asian MMOs, Revelation Online, and when it's war deck time, I'm talking about you seeing a sea of people coming at you. Now you imagine that being ships. So I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I'm just letting y'all know, when they come to play, they come to play.
How long ago was that? How long ago was that experience in Revelation, though?
Man, I played Revelation. That was like what, 5 years ago, about maybe 5 or 6.
Just as a heads up, Fist, there's been recent legislation within China that the CCP sort of now limits how many games they allow into the country.
Oh yeah.
And one of the main things that they demand for that is that there be a separate server within China, that the server is located in China, and that the central committee has the ability to sort of segregate their players out from other players. For their own political reasons, they want to sort of keep their citizens, let's say, not contaminated by Western players. That's their viewpoint. So I could be wrong, but I highly suspect that we will not be seeing mainland China players. Maybe Hong Kong players, but you won't be seeing all that many Chinese players. They will have a separate server system within China, mainland China, just for.
I know Evoland does that. They have I forgot the-
Okay, so
the-
so Tranquility is the main
Tranquility,
one.
yeah.
CC is the test one, and then in China they have I forget the name of
Serenity.
I forget the name.
Serenity. There you go. It's Serenity.
Okay. So yeah, I know TCP does it for Evoland, so I can see them doing the same something similar for
And that wasn't so. Even just a couple years back when you played that other game, that wasn't a thing. But this is more recent legislation, so you don't need to worry.
No. And like I said again, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it in the sense that if you do see that, just understand that you think that when you look at the battles that we've had with when Xenothreat would come on, you know, and you see that lighting up the sky and all of that. I'm talking about with them, it is literally an ocean of people coming at you. You talking?
You know, on that note, I will say that all of my experiences were with hundreds of naked Chinese men running at me. So if they're outside atmosphere,
What
on
you
one of
do
those
on a
moons-
Saturday night is nobody else's business.
Hey, here was some
with that-
long sessions.
And with that, Fitzface,
A whole 3 minutes.
Were you done, Fitzface?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. But it was a great video. I loved it. Loved the shots. Glad to see that this is, you know, the game is broadening its horizon and everything.
Cool. Thank you. Admiral Kuznagi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing Fist to Face was kind of saying. You know, I've dealt with Chinese players and Scum, and you know, there's they like to do things en masse, and they like to do things that may not be we'll say legal in gameplay. They might try to find cheats and stuff like that because they try to do is just, you know, they try to be the top thing anyways. Since they're having their, I know they passed legislation. I think might have gone with the one that Kai was talking about, but there's also a limit on how many hours a night Chinese person or kid can play. I think it's like 2 hours. So I know that's there.
I'm getting a little uncomfortable about the way y'all talking about Chinese people right now.
No, they're not talking about Chinese people.
Chinese government. You watch that video again. And that was partly to the Communist Party. Like, hey, this is what we're talking about, the Chinese space program, and we're gonna rise. I mean, that's literally like saying, hey, this is cool for us to play because, you know, China is everywhere. So you really have to look in the weeds there. So yes, they want to play our game, and yes, they want to be able to let the Communist Party, who controls them, to say, okay, we're going to green stamp this. So that's the way I look at it. And it's cool. It's a beautiful video. It's a beautiful video, and the graphics are fantastic. The cinematography was very good. They did like an, you know, like an old school style, you know, old school style of kind of like the speech, you know, when you talk about the eagle and stuff like that. There's I love this Chinese film called The Monkey King, and it's based off of an old story, and it's been turned into like the Forbidden Kingdom, I think, with Jet Li and Jackie Chan. And it's just like, so there's I really do love the way that they really do some of the cinematography and stuff like that. I found it when I was like 22 or 21. It was just, it's beautiful. It's like a 2-part film. But yeah, so they really have a great way of looking at things and a different perspective at cinematography, which we were missing here. And so I think it was great. It looked like they had a fantastic time in China. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. And hopefully, you know, it just makes everybody in the community overall richer for it. It would be interesting to see if we could have maybe more languages, even in our verse, being Chinese and French and other languages that we just don't normally see, and to
It's
make
going
it
to be
seem
hard
like.
to top this video in other countries.
No, I'm just saying, like, every place that we go is all mostly I see is in
English.
English, and so it would be interesting to see things that, like, like Japanese. I think I see Japanese once in a while, but yeah, it'd be interesting if they had that.
So I think
I would
what
like-
you're pointing to is like the what do you call that, the Blade Runner style, where you have this
Yeah,
mix, like
exactly.
in Blade Runner and in like Firefly, you have this mix of like like pidgin, like Chinese and English, East and West together as interesting billboards and whatnot.
Yeah,
I think that's very cool.
Expanse, multilingual. Yeah.
I would love to see, as a Western, Native American speaker, I would love to see billboards in Chinese in like Hurston or whatever, like some billboards in English and some in Chinese. Like if you go to parts of, like in Canada, I think it's actually a law that you have to have, at least in Quebec, if not in all of the places, any of the main signs that you have to see, they're in English and Chinese. I think that would feel very cool and very modern.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to be real quick because it's time for us to wrap up. But I thought the voice was amazing for the narration. The animation was cool because I was not expecting them to do their own animation. I'm not sure if they animated or they overlapped it or how. I'm not sure what process they used, but I thought it was cool. The music was good, and I was wondering where they were going at the end because it seemed kind of propagandist, but then they were just trying to hype up the Bar Citizen. So I thought that was a great way to promote their Bar Citizen. And like someone else said, I'm looking forward to more from this group. Hopefully, that they won't stop it with this. But with that, I just want to say thank you for everyone to join us. We're wrapping up, but before I do, I want to say that there's a Chicago Bar Citizen hosted by Soul Citizen. That'll be on November 5th, so a few weeks from now. Hopefully, Griffin can. I'm sorry, Advocate can put the link in Twitch chat. So, yep. Oh, you're heading there. Cool. So yeah, so that's the Chicago Bar Citizen. Yeah, hopefully people will have fun there. We already did our watch party, but I want to say our Bar Citizen is coming up. Oh, but before our Bar Citizen, I gotta go back because I messed up. So let me do this. For our Bar Citizen on Saturday, Fifth Space and New Soul will be doing a DJ set. Let me see if I can find my notes real quick. I didn't have it here. Oh, nope, I left it here. But Fifth Space can tell us a little bit about it. It's starting at 1 p.m. Eastern and going for 2 hours. That's about it.
Yeah, basically just 1 p.m. Eastern starting, ending at 3 p.m., for the start of Bar Citizen. Everything basically just, show up, have fun, enjoy the tunes, and, might learn some music. If not, enjoy yourself.
Thank you for that.
New Soul is your source for community-created Star Citizen music content.
And also, and after New Soul, we'll be having our Bar Citizen. So that's October 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, so 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. No exceptions. We will not be going over this time. So I'm just letting people know it's 6 hours. But if you want to continue after that, people can make arrangement after. But that's this coming Saturday, so 2 days from now. I'm looking forward to it. We already have quite a few registration. Go ahead.
Fastcart, did you see Griffin's post in the chat? You might want to call that out.
Oh, we're not hosting? Okay, so we're going to help out now. So, okay, cool. Thank you for that.
So Maiden Ariana will be hosting, and the Soul Citizen community will be assisting with that.
Oh, when you said that, I was thinking about the host, like waiting. I wasn't thinking about the Chicago Bar Citizen. Griffin referring to the Chicago Bar Citizen. So yes. Thank you. My bad. So we're not hosting the Chicago Bar Citizen. Maybe Ariana. So thank you for that. Bringing that to my attention. So yeah, come to see us. We are hosting along with Yacht Club on Saturday, so it should be fun. And so because of that, we're not having a show of voices on Saturday, but we will be doing a Saturday show talking about salvage. So Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC, Korea salvage should be a fun show. 10/16, 8 p.m. Eastern. So check this out. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Admin Kusanagi, Fifth Face, GoMab, Kaizen, Olefty, Poppin' Face, Rain Cloud, and Griffin stopping in for the Machinima. I hope everybody had fun. We're gonna raid the After Pub. So hopefully you can get that set up. And I just want to say thank you again for everybody watching. If you want to become a Soul Bull, Soul Sister, Soulmate, Soul Citizen membership has the privilege. You can click the join button on YouTube, but not on YouTube unfortunately today. But you can follow us on social media. We are Soul Citizens with an S on the end everywhere. We sell merch, we sell t-shirts, mugs, water bottles, what have you. Check the link below for that information. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, or follow depending on what platform you are. And that's it. So hopefully you get the raid for the Afterpub going. And with that, peace, love, and soul. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody. Have a good
night.
weekend.
Ping Ayu Linghu, which is peace, love, and soul in Mandarin.
You know, this is the first CitizenCon that I didn't have a hangover.